So, I originally recorded this video about a month ago. I just didn't have time to edit it and put it out. But then, about a week or so ago, one Mr. James Gunn had to go out and make an announcement that kind of ruined my whole video. Now I have to remake the whole thing. Fuck you, James Gunn. In all honesty, I'm actually really glad that I have to remake this video. Not because I thought that it was a bad video, but because in James Gunn's announcement, we found out that, one of my favorite superheroes is gonna be making it onto the big screen. And that is Jenny Sparks, the leader of the Authority. So I was first introduced to Miss Jenny Sparks about a year or two ago by one of my friends who was a huge comic nerd. And so he gave me his copy of The Authority, and I read through it, and I liked it so much that I was like, I want to go through from the beginning of Jenny's specific story arc, because The Authority isn't where she started. Because you see, we first meet this British bisexual icon in a story originally published by Image called Stormwatch. And Jenny specifically was introduced in Stormwatch 37 after she reluctantly joins Stormwatch, a secret group of superpowered people who want to make the world a better place, and they'll do that no matter what the cost. And at first, she's bitchy, flipping people off, like, this isn't my official job title, so I'm not gonna go out and do anything. And then in the next issue, number 38, is when you first get to see Jenny's powers. And if her name didn't give it away, Jenny Sparks, she has the ability to control electricity from spaceships in the sky down to the radio in your car, all the way down to the electrical signals in your brain. But that's not her only power. Though this next power, Jenny doesn't really have control over, and honestly, I wouldn't even count it as a power as much as it is a curse. See, Jenny Sparks is also known as the spirit of the 20th century. Jenny was born at 12 a.m., January 1st, 1900. And through her life, she has in some way, shape, or form been affiliated with some of the most influential people and biggest events of the 20th century. Her parents died on the Titanic. She lived with her godfather, Albert Einstein, befriended Princess Diana, slept with Ernest Hemingway, and so many other people. But, as I said before, this was also kind of a curse, because she influenced some people in a negative way. Like when she told one of her friends that he should give up on his passion for art and maybe pursue a career in politics. Another curse was the state of the world also reflected her mental state as well. So when the world was at peace, she was at peace. She was cool, she was calm, she was collected. But if the world was at war, then she was violent and raging. If the world hit a Great Depression, then so did she. But regardless of whatever was going on in the world, she wanted to make it a better place. Now, all of the stuff and the people that I just mentioned are real world things, but this is in fact a fictional universe. And so though they incorporated real life history into her story, there's so much more fun stuff, fictional fun stuff in it as well. Because you see, in her 20s, something called the Door appeared, and it was a rift in space and time that connected Earth and another universe's version of Earth called Sliding Albion. She went through this rift and explored it, and she slept with all of the people that she possibly could. She met the prince and she married him, forming an alliance between their Earth and hers. Though this didn't last very long, as he was kind of a douche and tried to kill her, so yeah. In her 30s, she decided to move to America, and she fought all of the mobsters that she could, and she stayed there doing that until well into the 40s, when she saw how corrupt things were getting. In the 50s, she moved back to England and became a colonel for what is known as the British Space Group to help keep Sliding Albion at bay. They thought that she was probably, the best option. In the 60s, that's when we really get to see the superhero Jenny Sparks becomes. When her and a bunch of her other super friends join together and form a team to help the world. That is until one day when one of her friends goes on a drugged up killing spree, and she has to kill him. Which, I mean, that really shook her, as it would anyone. It shook her to her core so much that she went to bed, and she didn't wake up until the mid-80s.
Just like a woman.
And of course, she still wanted to change the world. She still wanted to be a superhero. So when she did wake up in the 80s, she joined another superhero team. And again, that didn't go well. And that ended her belief in superhumans changing the world. At least for a little bit. But that brings us back to the top. 1996, and Jenny Sparks has now joined Stormwatch. They fought superhumans, and they fought people who were using superhumans for corruption. And unfortunately, that team didn't last very long, because about a year into it, this aliens came down and attacked them and took out about half of the Stormwatch team, thus ending Stormwatch. But that reignited that spark back in Jenny, and her and the other surviving members of Stormwatch decided to go around the world searching for superhumans to form a new team, the Authority. The Authority fought all kinds of people, but they really focused on aliens, probably because, Stormwatch was taken out by aliens. So they fought cult leaders with superpowered cultists, aliens, and another alien, and people from another world, aliens, and more aliens. And I think you understand that they focused on aliens. But the craziest battle was on December 31st, 1999, when Jenny Sparks and the Authority fought an alien god trying to take over the world. In fact, actually, he wasn't trying to take over the world, he was trying to devour it. But Jenny Sparks, being the superpowered badass that she is, shot herself straight into the brain of this alien god, and with all of the electricity in her body and its body, all of the power that she could muster, she electrocuted the hell out of it, thus killing it.
Just like a woman.
But as I stated before, Jenny was the spirit of the 20th century, and this century was just about over. So, after killing a god on December 31st, 1999 at 11:59 p.m., Jenny Sparks died. But not even a minute later, at 12 a.m., January 2000, the spirit of the 21st century was born. Jenny Quantum. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There hasn't been a single superhero movie that has come out within the last few years that I have been excited for. And I don't have very high expectations, but a British bisexual badass screwing a bunch of aliens and then killing their god? I'm a little excited for that. And that's the end of the video. That's all I got. Because again, I don't know how to come up with outros. What a terrible outro that would be.